He was America's weatherman. Let's visit the final resting place of Willard Scott. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 200th episode of the Tombstone Tourist. That's right, over the past 4 years or so, I have posted 200 Tombstone videos. Now I must admit those early episodes were a little rough, but I sincerely hope that over the past 200 episodes, I've gotten a little better at editing and telling the story of the people we visit each week. And I'm looking forward to the next 200 episodes. This week, I'm in the village of Hume, Virginia. It's a small unincorporated community in Fauquier County that takes its name from the Hume family, whose descendants still live in the area. At one time, the village had 3 stores, one of which served as the post office, and 4 blacksmith shops, which took care of the village needs. During the Civil War, wounded from both the First and Second Battles of Bull Run were brought here to the Leeds Episcopal Church, which served as a hospital. The area and the church was occupied various times throughout the war by both Union and Confederate armies. The original church burned in 1873, and it was rebuilt and stands just across the street from the cemetery. The Leeds Community Cemetery was established somewhere around 1922 and is the final resting place of about 500 people. One of those people that is resting here is the man that is often referred to as America's weatherman. Here is the final resting place of Willard Scott. Willard Herman Scott Jr. was born in Alexandria, Virginia on March 7, 1934. He was the only child of Willard and Mattie Scott, who raised him in a Christian home. As a result, Willard thought about becoming a minister, but that all changed when Willard and his mother made a trip to Washington, D.C. when he was about 8 years old. It was then that Willard visited WTOP Radio, where he talked with a very kind receptionist who took him into the control room. She told him that he could sit quietly and watch the man doing a live broadcast. Willard sat there listening intently as the man, who was a correspondent for CBS News, recounted his recent trip to Burma. The man's name was Eric Severide, who went on to have a long and very distinguished career with CBS News. As he listened to Severide, Willard knew that he wanted to be a radio broadcaster. He was so sure of it that he went back home and organized a radio club that consisted of about 10 or 15 boys from his neighborhood. They even built their own low-power radio station and began broadcasting from the basement of Willard's home. But a few weeks later, during one of their broadcasts, men from the FCC showed up at Willard's door, and they shut him down. It seemed that their little radio station was powerful enough that their broadcast was interfering with planes landing and taking off at nearby National Airport. In 1950, when Willard was only 16 years old, he got a job as a page at WRC Radio in Washington, D.C. A few weeks after starting the job, one of the regular announcers went on vacation. The station didn't have anyone on staff to fill in for the vacation announcer, and the station manager said, "Oh hell, let Scott do it." After graduating from high school, Willard attended American University, where he worked at the university's AM radio station. After graduating, Willard returned to WRC, where he teamed with Ed Walker and co-hosted the nightly radio show called The Joy Boys. From 1955 until 1972, With the exception of 2 years when Willard was on active duty with the United States Navy, Willard and Ed hosted what was to become Washington's most popular radio show. In 1967, Willard started pulling double duty at WRC. While still hosting the Joy Boys on radio, Willard was chosen to become the fill-in weatherman for WRC TV. Then in 1970, when the regular weatherman walked off the job, Willard became the station's full-time weekday weatherman. In 1980, NBC came calling and offered Willard the job of weatherman on The Today Show. Almost immediately, Willard became one of the show's most popular figures. Known for his keen sense of humor, Willard would often interject humor into his weather segments. Who could forget him dressing up as Carmen Miranda, complete with tropical dress, earrings, and a headdress complete with feathers and fruits while doing his full weather forecast. In 1983, Willard got a card from a viewer whose uncle was celebrating his 100th birthday. The viewer asked if Willard could mention the milestone during the show. Willard did, and a few days later, cards started rolling in from other centurions. The 100th birthday segment became so popular that Smucker's began sponsoring the segment and showed each person's photo on a Smucker's jelly label. From 1980 until 1996, Willard was the regular weatherman on The Today Show. Then in 1996, Willard went into semi-retirement, appearing on the show only 2 days a week in order to continue his popular birthday segments. Al Roker was selected as Willard's replacement, and for the next 10 years, Willard continued his limited appearances on the show. But then, on December 11, 2015, Willard announced that he was retiring for good. During that final show, Tom Brokaw, Jane Pauley, Katie Couric, Gene Shalit joined First Lady Barbara Bush in paying a final tribute to America's weatherman. During the course of his career, Willard received 3 Emmy Awards for his coverage of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on NBC. And in 1985, President Ronald Reagan presented Willard Scott with the Private Sector Award for public service. After leaving the Today Show, Willard lived quietly on his farm here in Fauquier County until he passed away at the age of 87 on September 4th, 2021. Willard is resting here beside his wife, Mary Ellen, who passed away on October 28th, 2002. Well, that brings us to the end of this 200th episode of the Tombstone Tourist. I want to thank each of you for watching my videos over the past 4 years or so, and for your kind and encouraging comments along the way. I would also like to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And as always, a thumbs up is most appreciated. Now, until next time, please remember, life is a wonderful journey. Be sure to take time and enjoy it. And I'll see you down the road. So long, everybody.